So my name is Michael Vandenhoek. Our operation here is Lowland Gardens in Great Village, Nova Scotia. We are now in our 40th year of business, and it has been 9 years since I've returned to the business full time after going off and pursuing some of my own career independently. We got the Heizomat in the very beginning of 2023. So we've had 2 seasons of continuous operation using the Heizomat Boiler. We have 15 high tunnel greenhouses on site. So we have roughly about an acre of growing space under cover. Previous to putting in the boiler, we had 22 or 23 independent oil forced air furnaces that we, hooked together, and so each greenhouse had its own heating system, its own ventilation system, and now we've become much more integrated. We still have, if it works, don't get rid of it. Yeah. So we still have our oil heat there on site if it's needed. But now instead of running it constantly through the year, there might be 5 to 10 days in a season that we have to put on some accessory oil heat, somewhere just to add, a little bit of top up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's been really nice as well, going from just to be able to say that you had 22, forced air oil furnaces going, using in excess of like 40,000 liters of oil in a season, and then switching almost fully to biomass. Has been a really, really great feeling. So it is kind of interesting because when you look at it just from like a bird's eye view from the numbers, we don't actually have a huge cost savings in fuel.
Okay.
But we're running the greenhouses twice as long.
Right.
For the same amount of fuel price.
Yes.
So we've changed our operations because of the Heizomat system.
Wow.
So normally what we would do, we'd be very frugal with our oil with our oil bill, and we'd start up as late as we could in February, contracting out some things like rooted liners, getting in like a tray of plants about yay big would have like 100 or 300 little seedlings in it, and start as late as we can in the season possible to save on heating those greenhouses in that cold part of the season. Now instead what we're doing, we've made a complete changeover in how our operation works is we'll start up the boiler in October, and we'll keep at least 2 of the greenhouses hot the entire winter long. So we're adding 4 months of heating into the year. And then we're taking back a lot of our propagation process ourselves. So instead of having a first stage grower growing on some of the things for us, now we're going direct to like Mexico, Guatemala, and getting in like little slips of unrooted cuttings and starting those in January. And then we're keeping over stock plants for plants that we're able to, and we're propagating some of those ourselves and starting those in December or January. And so while we're still spending about the same amount per year on fuel, we've also managed to realize some savings in our input costs as well, because we're not paying for those higher priced items for somebody else to start those off for us. We've just taken control of our own supply chain, and especially because we started this project in like the early stage of like peak COVID concerns. That was a really big issue for us, was taking back control of the supply chain, where we saw how delicate the whole system is for North America. And so by taking control of that, we have that peace of mind, we have that stability of our fuel cost, where, wood chips and biomass for a country like Canada and Nova Scotia,
not a problem. Business goes on.
Yeah, business goes on. So having that, biomass is much more stable. It's cheaper overall, but also it is extremely stable just because of the forestry that we have in our country, and especially in our province, as opposed to, the huge fluctuations you see in fuel oil prices. So it's having that peace of mind and being able to start earlier. We've reduced some of those costs, but we've also been able to start staff earlier in the season as well and provide kind of better quality, longer term jobs as well. So those are all parts that have been important to me in as I'm taking over, more and more of the business.
Thank you. Okay, what made you decide at the end to go with a Heizomat boiler?
The real decision for Heizomat, we had been looking at, we'd looked at a number of different things online and then did a real serious inquiry into 3 different brands, Heizomat being obviously the winner in that regard. The 2 biggest things that set Heizomat apart from when I was doing my own independent look at things was first off, the quality of construction. Just when you look at the actual boiler body, when that thing is first delivered, I mean, you'd swear it was like a tank, like being unloaded at your operation. It's just, everything is overbuilt. And I mean that in the best way possible. So the quality of engineering and the quality of support, like right off the get-go, without even talking to a sales representative, there was already notices and support for the fact of that they offered lifetime support. And when you're getting into something totally new, nothing says reassurance like a company that says, no, we stand by this thing for life. And if you need extra support, we have people available that you can contact. I mean, that is huge above and beyond anything else, and that's worth its weight in gold.
Awesome. So has that been your experience with
that
service
has
then?
Absolutely been my experience. Okay. The people that I have dealt with from Heizomat have all been absolutely fantastic, extremely knowledgeable about their product, and being able to lead me through troubleshooting, even from things that, I probably would never have dared to try and troubleshoot myself. So 100% would do it again. There's a lot of things I would change, but the one thing I would not change is going with Heizomat.